Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So for those who are new here, I'm using this channel to document my health journey, especially with the focus on building healthy relationship with myself and healthy relationship with food. And today I want to talk about a very important topic, the idea of building right attitude to food. So first of all, I want to tell that this topic is incredibly personal. And those things that I'm going to talk about are really helpful for me, but they might not be helpful for everybody. So I'm only sharing my personal experience and something which is working for me. So you may as well test some of these or just find something else which is actually working for you. So the first stage in this idea of building healthy relationship with food and building a right attitude with food is actually understanding where you are now. What are your current relationship with food? Are you happy or are you not? Is there something that you would like to change? Is there something that you are not happy with? The way you treat food or the way you feel around food that you would like to change. So once we mark our starting point where we are now and our desirable point where we would like to be and how we would like to feel, it will be way better to build some kind of road from this point to that point where we want to be. So for this reason, we need to ask ourselves some very important questions. It's like, do I have any issues with food? How I feel around food? How does food make me feel? How I feel after eating. Is there something that I would like to change in terms of my relationship with food, in terms of my attitude to food? And once you're being honest and answering all those questions, you will see in which direction you actually need to move. Very helpful thing here is actually journaling. So it can be something like a food journal when you actually write everything you eat, and at the same time some kind of field journal, and it can be some kind of combination when you write down what kind of food you're actually eating, and after you describe how you feel after eating. Do you feel happy? Do you feel satisfied, or perhaps you feel anxious, or perhaps you feel guilty or something like that. Next part, which is really helpful for me, is the idea of reframing your words, your attitude to food. And here it's kind of quite simple, but at the same time not so easy. It's like, instead of telling yourself, I cannot eat this food because it's too high in calories, or I cannot eat this food because it's not gonna bring me to my goals, it's better, at least it sounds for me like that, it's better to change our attitude and say something like, I want to eat this salad, or I want to eat this healthy proper meal in order to feel better. And also you can say something like, I choose to eat that because I want to feel like this, or I choose not to eat that because I don't want to feel like that. And once you're changing these kind of simple words, it really makes a crucial difference in terms of attitude to food in general. The key idea here, at least it works for me, it's some kind of reminder that food is something like we use to nourish ourselves, to bring ourselves some pleasure and satisfaction. But food, it's not obsession. Food, it's not punishment. Food, it's not anxiety. That's probably would be the key points that at least I feel around right now. My next point is something that I have already mentioned in some of my previous videos. It's about being present. It's about mindful eating. So instead of being distracted while you're watching something, or you are listening to something, or you're playing with your phone, it's better to avoid all distractions and only focus on food. And at the same time, it doesn't happen it should not happen every single time when you're eating something. But at least once a day, or let's say once every second day, there should be some kind of time when we're eating and we keep asking ourselves questions. Do I like the taste of this food? Do I like how it smells? Do I like the texture? Do I like the combination of these products? How do I feel while I'm eating this food? How I feel after I finished eating this food? What kind of feelings it brings to me? And in case you're really being honest with yourself, it will give you some very interesting insights in terms of many things connected not only with food, but with many other things in your life. Next point is emotional connection. Probably all of us have experienced emotional eating. I'm also unfortunately suffering from binge eating and very strong craving episodes, and this is something I'm dealing currently. But anyway, at least to teach ourselves to know that what are the signs of emotional hunger. Once I'm really hungry and I have a physical hunger, how does it feel in my body? How I know that it's a physical hunger? Or in case it's emotional hunger, how I feel about that? And it doesn't mean that once you recognize that this is emotional hunger, you should not eat. No, you still can eat whatever you want. But at least you are not like in autopilot mode. You are being honest with yourself and you're saying, yes, okay, now I'm eating this food because this is emotional hunger. Maybe I'm not happy with something. Maybe I'm stressed. Maybe I'm tired. And I'm using this food in order to feel better. And even though it might not bring you immediately to some health goal that you have set for yourself, but at least it will create some kind of trust in your heart that you are honest, at least with yourself. And already next point will be connected with finding other ways how to deal with emotional hunger, which are not food related. It might be some kind of sport, some hobby, crafting, breathing exercise, whatever. This is like a little bit different topic, and I'm going to make a video about that as well, because this is something I'm personally dealing with right now practically. Next part is again connected with something which I said previously. It's about building healthy food environment. So there is no black or white thinking. There is no labeling food like bad or good. Once we're eating, and it doesn't matter what we're eating, is it a salad or pizza or cake, we still need to think in terms of food in a positive way. It's like, okay, this food is nutritious. It gives me some nutritional value. It makes my body stronger. It makes my body healthier. Or I'm eating this particular food for enjoyment, for satisfaction, and it's also okay, and there should be no punishment, no guilt, no anxiety around food. Of course, it's easier said than done, and it does take some time, but the more you practice, the easier it gets. And I definitely can tell it from my own experience, especially when you're starting. First days, first week are really like hard, and it feels like a joke, like it's not working and you want to give up. But once you push yourself a little bit more, you will see that actually it's working. The brain starts learning this loop, and once something which once was very hard and didn't have any meaning or logic, now is actually started having some kind of sense, and it's some kind of magic. Next point, which is very important to my mind, it's to replace all those negative emotions that I have just mentioned with curiosity. So once you feel a trigger, emotional hunger or craving or binge eating or any other negative feeling around food, instead of blaming yourself and feel anxious and have this guilt feeling, we need to kind of get curious. I have just eaten this cake, for example, and now I feel guilty. Why? Why such a simple thing as a cake can make me feel guilty or anxious? And again, it's more about self-observation and self-talk, and it's a way big topic to cover in this video. But again, once we are mindful, once we're asking ourselves questions, it's really just awesome to see how our relationship with food, our relationship with ourselves transforming just day by day. And next part, which I also think very useful, is to educate ourselves. In order to understand how food is influence our body, how it influences our hormones, what kind of vitamins, mineral we actually need to know this type of information. Luckily, there is a bunch of videos nowadays, and you can find a lot of information about what kind of food you need to eat in different cases in order to help yourself, to help your health, to help your physical health, your body, your mind, your mental health. And the more we know, the easier it is for us to make choices, because now we know, okay, if I'm going to eat this apple, if I'm going to eat this broccoli, it's gonna help me in that or that way. And this knowledge make this positive connection to food way stronger. And my last point, again, I just want to clarify that I'm not an expert. I'm only sharing my personal story and something that works for me, which may not work for you. And in case you have really strong episodes with food, very serious issues that make you really upset or anxious, probably you need to find a help. And it's a good idea to find a therapist or nutritional coach who has some qualification and work with them, because a relationship with food has roots in many other issues, psychological, mental, and sometimes we do need help and we cannot handle it ourselves. And it doesn't mean that we are weak, it only means that in order to go to the next level, we do need a little bit of help. So I hope you like this video. If you really like it, please subscribe, leave your comments and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon.